Oh man, President Biden just slammed Donald Trump in a new speech he just got finished giving in Tampa, Florida. So President Biden was in Florida today to speak on women's reproductive rights. The Republican-controlled state of Florida has an extreme 6-week ban, and actually this November, the people of Florida are going to have the option to protect abortion rights or to not in this ballot initiative that they will be voting on. So President Biden went down there to inform the people of this, rally them, get them out to vote on this extremely important issue. But of course, President Biden made sure to take some shots at Donald Trump, not only for his role in overturning Roe v. Wade, but also his recent grifts, his scams that he's been pushing on his supporters recently. So I have two clips from this speech to show you. I think they're both very well said by President Biden. And then I have some polling to show you that seems like people are starting to flip toward President Biden, especially because of these issues that he's been talking about. So here is that first clip of President Biden making fun of Donald Trump.
Bragged how proud he was to get rid of Roe v. Wade over. He took credit for it. He said there has to be punishment for women exercising their reproductive freedom. His words, not mine. He described the Dobbs decision as a miracle. Maybe it's coming from that Bible he's trying to sell. Whoa. I almost wanted to buy one just to see what the hell's in it.
Oh, man. Oh, so well said by President Biden. A twofer, 2-in-1 clip, hitting him on overturning Roe v. Wade and bragging about it, and then mocking him for his recent grifts. So well said by President Biden. First and foremost, he's absolutely right about Donald Trump's position toward reproductive rights. He brags about overturning Roe v. Wade. He asks, he begs for credit. Everywhere he goes when he talks about this issue, he goes, me, everybody, look at me. I did it. I overturned Roe v. Wade. I was the guy who made it happen. Please give me credit for this. He's proud of it, says it was a remarkable thing to happen. And now he obviously recognizes how unpopular that is. So he has pivoted, Trump has, toward a state solution. He says, let the states take care of it. And then we saw the repercussions of that policy in Arizona recently, where their conservative-led Supreme Court allowed an 1864, that's right, a 19th century abortion ban to now govern the bodies of the women of Arizona in the year 2024. So his whole philosophy of let the states take care of it worked out pretty poorly for the women who are affected by his policy of reproductive rights. But he's right, brags about it all the time, says he's proud to do it. But man, oh man, was that joke about the $60 Bible grift that Donald Trump is pushing. Wasn't that fantastic? Seriously, I love how he said I wanted to buy one just to see what was in it. And like, oh man, I can't imagine what's in it. I can't imagine what Donald Trump did to a very sacred book to millions of people by adding in his garbage or whatever, his spin on it, calling it American Bible, right? But, Dark Brandon, as they call him, as you can see behind me up there, is coming out. He's coming to play. The gloves are off. He's swinging at Donald Trump. And we're in this cycle of the campaign where you'll see stuff like this more often, where Joe Biden's just going to go headfirst at Donald Trump. There's no more nice Biden, and that's a good thing. He shouldn't be dancing around the issue of Trump. He should be slamming him on these issues because Trump is responsible for overturning Roe v. Wade. He owns it. He owns all of these women who have suffered because of Republican bans, but most importantly, suffering because Roe v. Wade was overturned. And this second clip I want to show you, I think is a really good point by President Biden of this deal that Donald Trump entered with evangelical Republicans on the overturning of Roe v. Wade. It's something I haven't really thought about before, and I just thought it was interesting. So here is that clip of Joe Biden.
It was no miracle. It was a political deal to get rid of Roe v. Wade. A deal. Political deal he made with the evangelical base of the Republican Party to look past his moral, if they look past his moral and character flaws in exchange for his commitment to appoint justice to the Supreme Court who would overturn Roe. Don't think he's making a deal right now with MAGA extremists to ban nationwide abortion in every single state, because he's making it. In fact, the MAGA majority of the House of Representatives has introduced three separate bans to ban choice nationwide in every single state, based on each state.
Yeah, great comment by President Biden, and he's right. Donald Trump made this agreement with evangelical Republicans, evangelical Christians, that on his side of the deal, he gets to be himself. He gets to be a bully and a terrible person. But he promises to only appoint pro-life Supreme Court justices. And on the evangelical side of the deal, they will vote for him. They will support him. They will defend his every word and ignore all of his moral failings. But he has to try to overturn Roe v. Wade. That's the deal, and they made it happen. And then those folks came out in huge numbers to vote for Donald Trump, and they made him president, and they got Roe v. Wade overturned. That's the deal. They overlook Trump's flaws if he does what they want. And that's the truth. That's exactly what happened. And now we have some of these folks in our courts, these evangelical Christians in our courts, who are vehemently opposed to things like reproductive rights or even just contraception for women. Just women being able to do what they want to do with their bodies. Vehemently opposed to that because of Donald Trump. And that deal that they have that was quite public. It wasn't a secret deal. They made it in front of us. Ooh, I just hit my mic. But Biden is also right on the point that, Donald Trump is absolutely trying to push a national ban. He tried this when he was president. He endorsed it when he was president. And the idea that he's not, that Republicans are trying to push, like, oh, no, he's moderate on the issue, absurd, total lie, totally not true, completely fake. Donald Trump is absolutely pushing for a national ban. If he's reelected in 2024, that might become a reality for women in every state. No more of this blue state, you get to control your body, and red state, you don't. It's going to be everywhere, every state. You don't have the rights to do it. And the last thing I want to talk about in connection to this topic is the split screen, the dichotomy we're getting right now between Joe Biden and Donald Trump. On one side of your screen, you have President Biden, who's going around the country speaking on important issues. His campaign is investing in offices around the country in specific swing states. They're talking to American voters. They're pushing out ads. Meanwhile, Joe Biden's also doing the job of president. He's working for us. He's leading for us, dealing with all of these different issues around the world while all of this is going on. And then on the other side of your screen, you have Donald Trump, who's in criminal court right now in Manhattan, in New York, on charges of falsifying business records to help his election prospects in 2016. And he's going on these incoherent rants. He's attacking witnesses. He's attacking the judge. He's attacking potential jurors. All of that stuff, all of that insane stuff, that lunacy, that's the split screen. That's the dichotomy. That's the choice that Americans are looking at right now. And if you are someone who cares about this country, someone who cares about democracy, you're on the side of Joe Biden. You're looking at this side of your screen. You're saying that's the guy to lead us for another 4 years. And it's showing up in polls. As I mentioned earlier in the video, I have a poll to show you, which is a huge deal. Huge deal for the Biden campaign. So this is a Marist poll. It's a national election poll, 2024. And the poll has Biden up by 3 at 51%, Donald Trump at 48%. But also importantly, when you factor in third-party candidates, Biden then is at 43%, and Donald Trump falls to 38%. And then the rest of them have lower numbers, but Biden is leading by 5 in that case when you add in third-party candidates. And this is a huge shift. This is a huge shift from polls that had President Biden losing to Donald Trump at one point, and now it's at least tied, or some polls have President Biden leading like this one. Some of them sort of have Donald Trump leading still, but that is still changing. It seems like to me, the American people are coming to the logical decision that Joe Biden's the guy. He's the man for the job for the next 4 years. Because, as I mentioned, the dichotomy, the difference between the two candidates right now cannot be overstated. They could not be more different. And Joe Biden's working for us, and Donald Trump is in the courtroom ranting. So I just thought that was an interesting point in connection to what Joe Biden spoke about at that rally, that speech, I should say, in Florida. So something to think about. Anyway, I'll leave the video there. So happy to see President Biden in Florida today speaking. Make sure to subscribe down below. It goes such a long way. I greatly appreciate it. Also, drop a like on the video. Comment. Let me know what you think. Share the video with anybody you think needs to see it. And as always, I greatly appreciate your support, and I hope you have an amazing rest of your day.